Hey, Kim, what do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhino?
I don't know.
Hell if I know, but it's going to be a great show. All right, so can you tell by the opener what kind of show this is going to be?
I think it's going to be about jokes. Terrible jokes.
No, not terrible jokes. Great jokes, also known as dad jokes. All right. That joke, that particular one, which catches people off guard because it sounds like you might be, using some colorful language, was actually told to me by a pastor's kid. And the pastor dad told him that joke.
Come on.
And then he told it to another pastor. It's really funny to hear the whole exchange go down. But yeah, so dad jokes, they're funny. They catch you off guard. Some of them are just dumb.
Well, before we start with the hilarity, I want to make a disclaimer.
Okay.
We are podcasting today from a new location.
Woo, we're in our flat, as they say, across the pond.
We moved, and so our podcast puppy has new views, and you might hear her.
And the acoustics may be different. I don't know.
Time to time.
I don't know how it's going to sound. The acoustics sound about the same in the headphones right now. Hopefully they sound just as good, or maybe even better. But yeah, she's this new podcast room. She can actually look out the window, and so she may be making some noise.
She's very happy.
So right now, her chin is rested on the windowsill, just waiting for something to pass by.
Yes, she's very happy.
I love it. So how are you enjoying apartment living?
I really like it.
Okay.
It's small and it appeals to me.
Yeah.
I can't reach some things.
Yeah. It's not small enough then, apparently.
Yeah. There's some shelves I can't reach, which is a new thing.
We'll probably need to get a little step stool for certain rooms.
But I really like it.
Here's the funny thing about our living situation. Okay. So, and if they've been listening, they've been following a little bit of this. Back in February, our son was living with us and he got an apartment and moved out.
Yes.
And we're like, yay, empty nesters. And so we decided, we always knew that once he moved out, we would put our house up on the market.
Yes.
And so it sold in a day.
Yes.
Which is cool. I mean, the month leading up to that day was rigorous. I mean,
there was a lot of painting and a lot of fumes.
I never want to paint again in my life. I don't even want to use Microsoft Paint. I mean, that's just which I never do because that's the worst
pretty
paint
anti-paint.
program. But yeah, and so he moves. We decide to sell the house, get an offer. We close in less than a week, so that's exciting. But we had already moved out because we wanted to get the place ready for the closing. And lo and behold, we decided to move in the same apartment complex as our son.
Which he likes, by the way. I did sit him down and have an honest conversation.
Yes.
And he does think, if he's listening, hopefully he agrees, that having us here is fun and that we have a low chance of encroaching on his, independence because...
On his sweet swag.
Yeah, well, he doesn't really have swag. But...
The funny thing is I think the encroaching... Sorry if you're listening, son, will be more upon us because he's even said it. He's like, I want to be like Kramer on Seinfeld. I'm just going to bust in. And I'm like, okay, we're going to make sure we deadbolt the door.
Yeah, he's going to be in every classic sitcom where there's apartments that they go back and forth. He's like the Joey and Chandler on Friends. He's the Kramer from Seinfeld.
Whatever the neighbor that comes over and eats out of your fridge, that's what he's going to be. Yeah, he's already done that. And be like, we had pizza today. And we're like, we have to eat all the pizza and we have to throw the box away because we don't want him to know we had pizza without him. But if he's listening, he knows.
Well, he knows now.
It's good pizza. That's okay. I just love that he and I have a great relationship. And I think a part of the building block of our great relationship was comedy. I mean, some of the jokes, and by the way, if you hear a slurping sound, Kim is having some tea. It's afternoon. So it's
sorry.
High tea time.
I wanted to have a tea.
I just could hear the slurp through the microphone, so I'm guessing I'm not the only one.
Sorry.
That's okay. But, he and I, we love funny stuff. We watch sitcoms together. We goof off and we tell jokes. And of course, there it is. The idea of dad jokes it's like really... It's just one of those things that it kind of runs in the Rankin family, I'd have to say, that we're notorious for dad jokes. And I thought, like our family invented them, but really, honestly, dad jokes have been around since Adam and Eve. I mean, like one day Adam and his two sons were walking by the Garden of Eden, and Adam turns to his sons and say, "Look, kids, there's where your mom made us out of house and home." That kind of thing.
Oh my word!
It begins. That was a joke my dad told me growing up, and I thought since that's probably the oldest potential for a joke.
Is a dad joke to be sure.
Oh, my dad had all sorts of Bible dad jokes. It's like, where is tennis mentioned in the Bible?
I don't know.
Joseph served in Pharaoh's court.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I have a feeling that we need like this groan sound effect that just randomly plays.
I should find a groan sound effect.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so.
But to be fair, I wanted to play along with the dad joke theme. And so I found 10 good, terrible dad jokes.
So what defines a dad joke? Is it a good or is it bad?
A dad joke by definition, and here's where I sound stupid.
Yeah, because this is where you bring your nerd along with you.
Me and my nerd are drinking tea this afternoon. No, a dad joke by definition is like a one sentence kind of quip.
Yeah.
That, is kind of a question, corny answer kind of. It doesn't have a lot of build-up.
So it doesn't have to be coming from a dad as long as it just fits that kind of... Because, there's, some jokes, take a little bit of time to tell, and those aren't really good dad jokes because you need to be quick.
These are
because usually the child is running away because they can see it coming.
They're
know
it's coming.
On their way out. And, what's funny is growing up, we didn't call them dad jokes in our house. That term feels fairly new.
It does feel new.
But we had an uncle. My Uncle Dick was very... corny. He had the corniest jokes. And so anytime somebody would tell a corny joke, we just called it an Uncle Dick joke. We're just like, oh, that was an Uncle Dick joke. And so it was more of an homage to my uncle, who was notorious for telling some of the worst corny jokes, dad jokes, basically.
My stepdad had some dad jokes.
Yeah. And but I'll never forget the first dad joke I heard. You want to hear it? So
I am ready.
This is classic dad joke. I did it. And I've heard other dads do it.
So you did this to Connor.
I did this to Connor, and it's basically a reply to a whine that kids may have. So if kids are whining and they're like, "I'm hungry," what do the parents say? "Hi, I'm Caleb. Nice to meet you." I mean, that was my dad did that. "Hi, I'm John. Nice to meet you." The whole That was the first dad joke I ever remember encountering.
There it is.
Yeah. So I'm hungry, or I'm whatever. I'm bored. "Hi, bored. I'm John. Nice to meet you." It was constant in our house. And I'll never forget my first grandpa joke. So this is a joke that my grandpa said, but it would fall in the joke of the categories of dad jokes. And it was
it's not good when you laugh at your own jokes.
Well, I like most kids, underwear can be ill-fitting when you're growing up. And so my grandpa would always make this joke, "Hey, Caleb, going to the movies? It looks like you're picking your seat." Yep.
Nice.
Yep. That one I heard a lot. So those are some of the jokes I grew up with. And then some of them we would make up on our own. Like my brother had a funny joke that I wasn't there. It was my mom and my brother were driving in the car one night, and they saw a dead possum on the side of the road. And mom goes, "Do you think it's playing possum?" And my brother says, "It's a possibility."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we do that groan sound now. But that one, everybody laughed in our family. We thought it was funny. But then it kind of set this bar that everybody tried to top. And for years, that was the one that everybody was like, "Well, it's not a possum joke. It's not, Okay. And then my dad thought he did. This is years later. I mean, possibly up to 5 years later, maybe even more than that. We'd moved to a different state since then. And we were driving in Arkansas, which is notorious for chicken farms.
Okay.
And we were driving by the Tyson chicken plant, and it stunk. I mean, when you drive by the chicken plant, there's just certain days it's rank.
Not good.
And so my mom, thinking she's
funny.
Yeah. But she's no dad joker. She's a mom joker. She's like, "Ooh, that's a foul smell." My dad, thinking this was the funniest joke ever, to this day would still think this is the funniest joke ever, said, "Maybe it's a poultrygeist."
That doesn't even fit. like with the theme.
We tried to tell him that. We tried to say poltergeist would be if you were at a spooky house and you heard a chicken, that would be a little different. But yeah, and so we kept but he, was adamant that was the funniest joke ever, and he made it up, and it was.
Dads usually do think their jokes are the funniest jokes ever.
I'm known for doing that. I make up some. I wish I'd write them down, but I think they're hilarious. And then, of course, I get the look from you and Connor. And it's like, no.
My sense of humor is not what yours and Connor's is.
No.
Like, I find things amusing that you guys are like crying, rolling on the floor, laughing so hard.
It is no fun watching comedies with you. I'm just going to put it out there. It is no fun to watch. No, because I'm like busting up and you don't make a word. You don't make a peep. You're just like, okay. And so I feel like, oh, wow, she's going to hate that I picked this movie. And then you're like, oh, it was, and you use that term, amusing. Amusing, which can be really interpreted in multiple different ways. Yeah.
Sorry.
Not a fan. But anyway, and when we were, and I'm reminded of Valentine's Day, which you actually got you almost stormed off because I had the whole string of dad jokes about trees, and you were so mad.
I was good for the first 5 jokes.
I had at least 15 tree jokes.
It started to wear a little thin.
Oh.
You just kept, and it's like you didn't even have a joke.
I kept them coming until I got stumped.
And there we go.
It was so funny because we were gonna go see this art thing and it had the whispering tree thing, and
so you're just standing in line waiting, and there's nothing else to do, and everyone's on these dates, and
it's freezing.
It's cold. They're all speaking in these hushed tones, and so I'm just appreciating the aesthetic of the outdoors.
There's beautiful lights all around because it's artistic.
It's lovely. I was not in the presence of mind for a dad joke.
Oh, but I just started riffing on all sorts of, barking up the wrong tree kind of stuff. I was going out on a limb. Oh, yeah, it was... Oh, you wanted me to leave you alone? We just kept them coming. I kept them coming.
I would say there was no we in this conversation.
I was like, you were about to leave me.
You were just on a roll. But I did find some dad jokes. I wanted to play along today.
I did too. Can I read a dad poem first before we get into the dad jokes that I looked up?
You have a...
This is one. Actually, I think my mom may have told it to me.
Dad poem?
Yeah. Are you ready?
I don't know.
When you go to kiss your honey and her nose is kind of runny, don't think it's funny because it's snot.
Oh, that's gross. That's gross. That's gross, and it makes me
It's so funny.
Is there hand sanitizer? That's just gross.
My backpack in the closet.
I feel like
all right.
I need a chemical bath.
That was funny. Okay. All right, so I do have a couple more. I have aside from those that I've already said, I have a few more. But who wants to go? Why don't you go first since I've dominated.
We'll go back and forth.
Okay, you might have a few more than me because I've already said a few of them. But go ahead.
Okay. What did the drummer call his twin daughters?
I don't know what.
Anna 1, Anna 2.
Anna 1, Anna 2. Wow. Okay. This is one I remember. Again, this is a joke I heard as a kid, and it's, I would say falls in the category of dad jokes. I don't know if I heard it from a kid, read it in a joke book, but how can you tell if there's been an elephant in your refrigerator?
Oh, I've heard 15 versions of this. What's your version say?
By the footprints in the peanut butter.
Yeah, I heard footprints in the butter, the door is broken.
Well, see, the door is broken makes sense. The whole footprints in peanut butter is ridiculous. It's
How does the elephant get the lid off?
What is he, like a 8-inch tall elephant? That's the whole ridiculousnait of it.
I like peanut butter, but not enough that an elephant could stand in.
I got more elephant jokes. There was a lot of,
okay,
not the Elephino joke. I'm done with that one, but.
Wait. I thought I had an elephant joke, but I guess I don't.
Oh, I've got plenty to supplement.
Okay, here's my next one. Want to hear a joke about construction?
Sure.
I'm still working on it.
Oh, my goodness. I actually have a few similar to that.
I feel like this episode should be dedicated to our friend Nate.
Yeah. Our friend Nate is notorious for very quickly and on his own. Not occasionally he'll do these, but yeah.
Yeah, he's got the dad joke thing down.
Okay.
He is good at them.
All right. Why do you never see elephants hiding in trees?
Because gravity.
Because they're that good at it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. I tell dad jokes, but I don't have any kids. I'm a faux pas.
A faux pas. That's
That laughter was genuine because I thought
you might have broke the microphone with that
was
laughter.
really funny.
I didn't think it was that
I'm a
funny.
faux pas.
That is totally gonna. I'm gonna have to edit that. That one peeked out the microphone. All right, last elephant joke for me. What time is it? Have you ever remember the "What time is it when" kind of? Have you?
Yeah.
What time is it when an elephant sits on your fence?
Well, I've heard about 15 versions of this one.
Time to get a new fence.
Yeah, obviously.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Did you know the first French fries weren't actually cooked in France?
Yeah, I did know that. That's not a joke.
They were cooked in Greece.
Wow. All right, I have another "What time is it?" But I don't even know if I want to do it. What time is it when your clock strikes 13? Very similar to the last joke.
Well, it's probably time to get a new clock.
Yes, it's time to get a new clock. Or I always had when I tell that joke as a kid, I always had the kid who was big in the military. Like, no, it's military time. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Now I'm getting into some newer ones after that. Those are the ones I remember from being a kid. They're really old.
Any jokes ever? Like people tell me good jokes.
I got another one that's not on here, so I think because I think I'm going to run out before you, so I'm glad I've got one more, and you'll remember it because a friend of ours told us, but it's mine. Go for
It's
it.
yours. When does a joke become a dad joke?
When
it becomes apparent.
Oh my God. That reminded me of another joke.
Oh, good.
I got so many. All right. What do vegetarian zombies like to eat? Grains.
Nice. And terrible.
Grains.
Well, it's better than the other one.
Oh, that was good. I liked that one.
I'd feel safer from a vegetarian zombie.
Yes.
Okay, here's another one. I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know.
Which one came? Yeah. That's funny. All right. How did Darth Vader know what Luke got him for Christmas?
He peeked at the gifts.
He felt his presence.
Oh, nuts.
He felt his presence.
Oh, dear. Oh, my. That's not funny.
Okay.
I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
That's funny. You got some really good ones.
Thanks. I found a nice list.
All right, this is another one I remember as a kid. Did you hear the joke about the kid that dove into the deep end of the pool? And it's over your head.
Oh. I'm like, no, I actually didn't. What's the joke? Dun, dun, dun. All right. What's an astronaut's favorite part of a computer?
No clue.
The space bar.
Oh, the space bar. Oh my goodness. Did you hear the joke about the cheap paper?
I haven't.
It's terrible.
Oh. Which is good because I think all paper should be terrible. So that's actually
you ever get that wrapping paper that it seems to not be terrible? And you're like, why can't I tear this paper?
No, I prefer that. I've gotten cheap wrapping paper that you can't wrap anything with.
Yeah, but when you go to unwrap it, it's like I can't find it because they wrap it and it's that terrible paper. It's not terrible. It's horrible.
You can't tear it.
But then they like fold it so tight you can't even get your finger under the folds. It's some of the worst.
Now see, I've had the opposite issue. I've opened presents and also wrapped presents with the cheap paper.
And you just pick it up and it falls apart.
Well, no, you have to put so much tape on it to,
you laminate it.
Keep the packaging closed that, it becomes one big tape.
There you go.
Kerfluffle.
Kerfluffle.
So.
Wow.
That's a word.
That's a mom word.
Kerfluffle?
Kerfluffle.
Oh.
It just sounds like a mom trying not to say a bad word or something. Oh, kerfluffle.
Oh. That's fun.
It's my turn? No, it's your turn. You just did the paper joke.
Okay. Did you hear about the scientist who was lab partners with a pot of boiling water?
No.
He had a very esteemed colleague.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, that was nice. That was a science joke.
Okay. Did you hear, and this one I made up, did you hear about the grizzly that disappeared?
No.
It's unbearable.
Oh. Oh my. All right, this is my last one.
I got one more afterwards that you and I both know, but I want to finish on that. And so you finish yours, and then I'll tell one more.
Why did the Scarecrow win an award?
I don't know.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
Outstanding. I have heard that one. Yes. Outstanding in his field.
I thought I had some pretty good dad jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked the faux pas one the best.
What do you call a cow that has lost its baby? It can't find its baby.
Oh, snap. I didn't hear this one, and I don't remember.
Decaffeinated.
I was going to say, hold on, let me think about it. Yes, see? That's the example of the really funny joke I heard.
Decaffeinated.
And I thought, I'm going to memorize this, and I'll have a joke, because, you always need a whole stockpile of jokes just in case.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't even remember the punchline when you told me the joke.
It reminds me of one of my other Uncle Dick jokes. Was we were driving in the Ozarks. There's cow fields. There's fields with cows in them, and
Cow field. I like how you clarify cow field.
Well, it wasn't like a wheat field or corn field. It was a field of cows. Anyway, we're driving by. It's my whole family.
That's
my
your
parents.
joke. It's a cow field. Fields with cows in them.
And my mom goes, look at all that beef. And then we drove by some that were laying on the ground. And my uncle said, look at all that ground beef.
You still say that joke.
I know.
Anytime we're out driving and you see a cow laying down, you point it out.
Yeah. Or you could just, if you don't have that as an object to where you can point to, you can say, what do you call a cow with no legs? Also ground beef.
Ground beef.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was funny.
What do you call a dog with no legs?
Sad.
Doesn't matter. He's not coming to you when you call anyway.
Oh, you made a sad joke sadder.
It's not sad.
Oh.
You like it whenever you can call your dog and your dog can come to you.
Yes, I'm a big fan of dogs.
Yeah. What did the mama bullet say to the papa bullet?
They're going to have a baby.
That's one of my earliest jokes, too. We're going to have a baby.
Okay, can we say Connor's first joke?
Yes, his was a knock-knock joke, which would be, a great episode in itself. We will allow it here.
Connor
go ahead.
wrote his own joke.
I'll participate along. So.
Yes, so this is age 3.
He's 3 years old, yes.
Okay, here it is. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Aquaman.
Aquaman who?
Team. So for whatever reason in his brain, it made sense to shout out team.
And he would shout it really, team! Like he would cut you off and everything.
It doesn't make sense with the Aquaman.
Yeah.
And he would giggle.
Yeah.
Like he was on a late night
He thought
monologue.
that was the funniest thing ever. Yeah. He was, from a kid, always wanted to be funny. Like that time we drove by a skunk. That we were driving, there's a skunk dead on the side of the road.
I remember this.
It smelled horrible. But he was still young. He was like 2 or 3, and he was just coming into his own personality. And we're just driving, and we're not trying to react because, it's a skunk. But then he goes, that smells awful. And the way he said it just tickled us. And we started laughing.
Which we should not have
When
done.
he realized that was funny, he said it for the next 10, 15 miles, even though the smell had long gone. But he thought he was being so funny. That smells awful. Every half a second. And he would laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
But
I remember that.
comedy's a big deal in our family. We just love having fun and being funny.
I like funny.
But you never laugh at it.
Some of it, it's just amusing.
Yeah.
I smile.
Amusing.
I snicker.
Snicker.
Sometimes I laugh so hard I snort, which is awkward.
Here's the thing. The time I remember you laughing out loud ever in any kind of anything, like as far as watching stuff, you'll laugh if we're joking around. But
Correct.
when we're watching a movie, the first time I ever heard you actually laugh out loud and continue to laugh out loud was during Tommy Boy.
Yep.
And it's not even that funny of a scene.
Nope.
I mean, it's not even a Chris Farley line. It's a David Spade line, which kind of jibes more with your personality, the snarky.
I liked his
little bit of sarcasm. that does, but it's sitting there in the diner, having shrimp cocktail, and he talks about needing a pooper scooper because they didn't
devein it.
Devein it. That's the word. He uses a different word. He says deterred.
And I laughed so hard I'm crying.
Yes. And I'm like, that's not that funny. He's like, it looks like we got this one after Thanksgiving. And you, I mean, like busted up laughing. And like that was one of the only times I've heard you laugh during a movie and stuff. And so I had to, like for years, anytime I felt like I needed to cheer you up if you were sad or upset at me, all I would do would be like, Pooper Scooper, and you would laugh.
That's it. That's all it took. I know. It's not even a funny joke.
It's not. It wasn't a funny bit.
You
have a it's a very like niche sense of humor where the things that you laugh at are just very like particularly. Now, if you're in conversations, you're going to laugh and you'll have fun. But when watching stuff, that's the thing. It's just weird. Like you're just very, very quiet.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But I did enjoy your jokes.
I enjoyed yours. Those were very funny.
And I'm glad that we didn't pull the same jokes. We
didn't pull any of the same jokes, did we?
No, I was a little fearful, but it worked out well.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for doing a dad joke.
Well, thank you. I'll end on one more joke, then we can say goodbye.
Okay.
Why didn't the skeleton cross the road?
There's
he didn't have the guts.
Oh, nuts. Oh, that's.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.